Michigan fans everywhere, watch your heads. The proverbial hammer has dropped. The hammer that was promised to us by other state fans across the globe. Thor's hammer came down from the heavens, also known as the NCAA, and dropped on the Wolverines. And the destruction, it's catastrophic. Michigan may never bounce back as a program. It's a death penalty. Not really. We'll talk about it. And a beloved Michigan figure out here driving while intoxicated, not even a month after. Former now defensive line coach Greg Scruggs did the same. We got to talk about it. And Michigan recruiting, all that. And of course,
I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully, it's disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans. Poor little bro, man. And I'm going to tell him why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. The other state. And of course, as always, I'm upset.
Have you ever asked yourself, why am I paying so much for cell phone service? I'm sure you have. I know I have. And I have a solution for you in the form of Mint Mobile. Use the description in the video here. Check out Mint Mobile's plans. You can get unlimited service for as low as $15 a month. That is not a gimmick. Trust me. Stay in. Ladies and gentlemen, it hurts me to have to do this, but we have to talk about it, right? Beloved Michigan, former Michigan quarterback Denard Robinson, who is now currently a Michigan staffer, was arrested for operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated. Now, while some may think this is not a huge deal, and I may have been in that group before, the reason that this is a big deal is because former now defensive line coach Greg Scruggs was arrested for operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated, basically, right? And that cost him his job. He ultimately resigned because of it. Now, granted, he had a history of these sorts of interactions, if you will. He had a DUI before. He had some other moving violations, if you will. So he was no stranger to this sort of thing. Ultimately, he was suspended indefinitely before finally resigning from his position, his newly acquired position, by the way, as Michigan's defensive line coach, thus once again throwing Michigan's defensive line recruiting into flux. But I digress. Greg Scruggs, we hope he gets the help that is needed. Of course, that comes before anything. His health and good standing, and hopefully, he and I don't want to say becomes a productive member of society, because from all I know and have heard, it's not like he's out here, doing anarchy. But obviously, he needs to get the concerns with his drinking under control. That said, I'm getting way off base here. Denard Robinson, like I said, beloved figure in the Michigan community, was a great quarterback at Michigan, right? Shoelace was his nickname. Electrifying talent, was arrested for the same offense. Now, the difference is he has not displayed a history of such actions, right? The difference is he is an alum of the university. Whether or not that gains him any leeway here is yet to be seen. Sherrone Moore had made a brief acknowledgement and announcement of his suspension today, saying basically he's been suspended indefinitely while they sort through the facts. That's the same kind of message that was sent or put out when Greg Scruggs had his incident. Ultimately, like I said, we all know Greg Scruggs resigned. Comment in the comment section. What do you think happens with Denard Robinson? Should he be suspended? Suspended. There's no doubt he should be suspended. Should he resign? Should he be fired? What do you think the next step is with Denard Robinson? Let's talk about it in the comment section. Moving on to what we're really here for, though, today. Boy, the hammer dropped. The NCAA, in their Thor-like hammer, fell on the University of Michigan this past week with the announcement of the punishment. Apparently, the NCAA and the Michigan Brain Trust got together, agreed upon a punishment for Michigan. It was found that they were guilty of these. Let me not say guilty. Guilty is a strong word. But anyway, they were liable, if you will, for these infractions. They committed these infractions that include, and these are the Burgergate infractions, by the way. Infractions like assistant coaches watching recruits work out online. Of course, the infamous burger itself, Jim Harbaugh's unwillingness to cooperate with the investigation, as the NCAA put it, all of those things. That's what we're talking about here. The NCAA has come down on Michigan. The punishment appears to be probation for the Wolverines, as well as a loss of scholarships. So a few scholarships less at their disposal for the football program. And I think there was another small, thing to take care of. But hopefully this satisfies the other state fans who just, bombarded the comment section of all the videos talking about how the hammer would be coming down on Michigan and how Michigan would go back to 7-8 wins, all of this nonsense that they spew with their no-winning selves. They haven't beaten the Wolverines in going on 5 years now, and they don't know what to do with themselves, clearly, and it's a mess. And now they're just trying to buy a national championship. They put a down payment on the national championship. It's yet to be seen if the payment was enough. I doubt that it is, but that's another story for another video. Anyway, comment below. What do you think of the infractions? What do you think of the punishment? Let's talk about it in the comment section. Moving on. As you all know, the spring transfer portal is open, and Michigan is slated to be a player in the portal. However, they suffered a little attrition of their own as wide receiver Christian Dixon has entered the portal. Dixon was a former 4-star recruit in the 2021 class. Struggled really catching on and seeing the field at wide receiver. We wish him the best, of course. He will be entering the transfer portal, like I said, the spring portal. Former maitre d' high school star out of California. As I said, we wish him the best moving forward. As I alluded to, Michigan is also expected to be shoppers in the transfer portal, and they have made the top 6 for another wide receiver, Kyle Ford, out of UCLA. Ford spent his first 4 years at USC before transferring to UCLA. He is a big-bodied receiver at 6'3", 220, a guy that Michigan probably needs at this point in time in terms of the size at the wide receiver position. Last season, he caught 22 passes for 236 yards and a touchdown. He is a former 4-star himself, rated number 34 in the country back in 2019. That's just outside of being a 5-star prospect. So clearly he had some talent coming into his college career. If he does choose Michigan, hopefully Ron Bellamy and the crew can pull it out of him. We'll see what happens, though, and I'll keep you posted right here on the channel as more information becomes available. The Wolverines have also seemed to strengthen their position with in-state offensive lineman Avery Gatch, which is a great thing. Gatch looks like an absolute monster. I've shown his film several times here on the channel. In addition to Gatch, Michigan hosted Miami linebacker commit Elijah Melendez, who came away from the Michigan visit very excited and even seemed to favor the Wolverines coming out of that visit. Now, here's the thing. NIL is going to play a part here, so Michigan would need to get that obviously situated and taken care of. But other than that, I think that the Wolverines are in the lead here just based off of the football and the experience. NIL could become a factor and be a hindrance to the Wolverines, as in other, recruitments that they've been involved in, especially ones that involved schools like Miami who are high on NIL. Other than that, during the spring game, Michigan will host their quarterback commit, Carter Smith. His father was very excited about the visit, wanting to see the town basically of Ann Arbor, even talked about looking in the state of Michigan for some property to buy. He is huge on old school football. He loves that Michigan runs the football, which is crazy that his son is a quarterback, but he does expect the Wolverines and new Wolverines offensive coordinator Kirk Campbell to open the offense up a little bit, and that's one of the things that they'll be looking for when they visit. Other than that, keep it locked to the channel for any other updates, and always stay angry, my friends. I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. Our ratings, they're about to go through the roof.
All right, now I'ma calm down. Son. I just don't get that all that Maize and that lock and all that. I just don't get it, son, for real.
Just calm
And how the